Okay, so now that we understand just how crucial this question is and how really fundamental it is to our whole experience of Judaism, of Yiddishkeit, so now let's get to the matter at hand, right? Is Gemara enough? That's what we spend most of our time learning, especially in yeshiva, but even after that, Gemara, is that enough? And the answer is, it's complicated. Because the question is, what do we mean when we say Gemara? What does that mean? So generally speaking, we think about Gemara as the sugis that we learn, whether it's in, the Baba is Baba Kama, Baba Basra, whether it's in, Kedushin, Gittin, Ksubis, the Yeshivish, and Masechta, so on, Sukkah, Tainis, Megillah, these sugyas that we learn, and the halachas that they treat. But sometimes what gets overlooked is that Chazal interpolated, they combined the halachic aspects of the Gemara together with the agadic aspects of the Gemara. So what sometimes we just refer to as Gemara, we have to be clear, we're really talking about two completely different kinds of texts that really treat two completely different subjects that are merged together as one. The real question is, are we focusing as seriously and as deeply on Agada and cultivating an ability to really dig deeply into what Agada says and what Agada is for with the right perspectives, as much as we're focusing on the halachic aspects? And I believe the answer to be unequivocally no, we are not. Generally, Agada is seen as, it's maybe like the easier, you sometimes maybe even skip it if you want to get back to the real stuff, as if Chazal made some kind of mistake. They didn't make a mistake, because the Agadas contain in encoded form the whole realm of what's called Pnimius HaTorah, which means the interior, the inside of Torah. Because just like the human being has a body and a soul, just like there's the physical vessel, almost like a wick for a flame, there's something like an anchor that is grounding the spirit in this world. But without the soul, the body is a corpse. Without the body, the soul is a ghost. It's also nothing. But God created there to be a balance between body and soul, wick and flame. The Torah also has a body and a soul, and it needs both. The body is the halachic sugyas, right? That's kasher, pasul, tamei, tahar, mutter, aser. That relates to the eitz hadas, tov v'ra. I'm not giving you all my sources now. It says Zohar, Kaddish, without getting into it now. And that's knowing what to do, what not to do. And that's crucially important. That's the vessel for our relationship with Hashem. But what about the relationship in and of itself? What about learning about who Hashem is and who I am as a neshama that's supposed to connect to Hashem? What about learning about what it means to be a Jew? What about learning about what halacha not just is, like what is the halacha, but what is halacha, for? What is it for? Where are we heading with all of this? What is the Jewish story? What's God's vision for the world? How do we understand history and its trajectory? How do we understand our generation, what it means to be on the threshold of Mashiach, and so on and so forth, millions of other topics? That's in the realm of Pnimius HaTorah. That's the soul of halacha. That halacha, the what, where, how, and when, is a vessel for the why. And to the degree that we have the what, where, how, and when, and we focus solely, only on the kli, on the vessel, so then it's very, very possible that we'll go our whole lives, right, doing all the right things, but not ever having had the privilege of exploring what our kavana is supposed to be, what our heart is supposed to be feeling, what our perspectives on what Hashem is or isn't can be, that can infuse our experience of halacha, can infuse our experience of learning the halachic aspects of the Gemara with life, just like the soul fills the body with life, A lot of times when we feel that our Yiddishkeit is stale, is mechanical, is meaningless to us ultimately outside of a institutional or cultural engagement, is because we've never been introduced to the soul. And the soul is in the realm of Pnimius HaTorah, that's really communicated openly in the Zohar Kaddish, and then encoded or decoded in a way by the Arizal, and then transmitted through the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov and all of his Hasidim, meaning the Hasidim, not the Hasidim with Streimels and Pekishes, the early Hasidim that wrote in thousands of pages of their Sfarim how to apply the words of the Zohar and the Arizal. And the Vilna Gaon writes, it's brought in Evan Shlema, in Perek Gimel, Yud Aleph, right, if you want to know the exact source, where he writes over there that all of the Sisrei Torah, all of the secrets of the Torah are encoded into the Haggadah. But we've never been trained how to learn Haggadah properly because we don't know these basic frameworks. So we don't get to see the brilliance of the Torah. And they sound like nice stories or silly, very strange, convoluted anecdotes of strange things. But if we were learning Haggadah properly, so then yes, all you need is Gemara, because Gemara has both, because Chazal knew that you need both. They didn't make a mistake, but we have to be learning Haggadah properly. And so the answer is Gemara enough? Well, yes, Gemara is enough, but only if we understand what Haggadah means, and we're learning the Sfarim that are enabling us to engage with Haggadah properly. I'm sorry this video was a bit long, but hopefully we'll have a part 3 and maybe even a part 4 to develop these ideas a little bit further. Okay, it's a great start. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me.